Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are traveling back to Sardinia. So I had the most incredible holiday in Sardinia, and I've been publishing this Sardinia series on YouTube. I'll have all of my other videos linked down below. But in today's video, I want to share with you 6 of the amazing beaches that we visited in Northern Sardinia. We stayed in Porto Rotondo, which I would highly recommend. It's this great small town with so many wonderful restaurant offerings, charming boutiques, and as the name would suggest, a large round port for walks while enjoying these incredible boats. So all of the beaches featured will be within driving distance. I do recommend that you rent a car. And in terms of where we stayed, we had a beautiful apartment rental in Porto Rotondo, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a lovely roof terrace. So I will leave that link down below. That is bookable on booking.com. So without further ado, let's jump into the 6 beaches that I would recommend that you visit on a trip to Northern Sardinia. So the first beach that I would recommend you visit is Spiaggia Marinella. Now this one was beautiful. However, we put in the location of Blue Beach, which is this beach club, and Google Maps directed us to this really random back road place to park, not the official parking lot. So we ended up walking through all of these kind of sandy dunes and almost wooded area to get to the beach. So I might recommend you look on Google Maps for a more official parking lot. We didn't get a ticket, but we also went mid-September during the off season, so do not take chances. This beach is stunning. Imagine the most gorgeous aqua colored water. It was clear. It was great for swimming. And this beach, like many of the beaches in Northern Sardinia, they have stretches of public beach, which you can just bring your own towel and sit on the sand, but they also have sun loungers for hire. I don't remember for each of the beaches cited what the prices were because I also went in the off season versus the on season. So you were just gonna have to figure that one out for yourself, but they were about 20 to 30 euros depending on where we went. And we did hire sun loungers, which was great. Unfortunately, the aforementioned Blue Beach was closed because we went, as I mentioned, I think between September 9th and 16th. What we discovered on our trip was that seemed like many of the places in Northern Sardinia between Porto Rotondo area, a lot of the restaurants were closing as of the 15th of September. And because we were right at the cusp of the end of their quote unquote season, places like Blue Beach, the famous beach club, and a few other beach clubs that are very well known in Northern Sardinia were already closed for the season. So if that's something that's really important to you, definitely check their websites and make sure you know when you can go and visit them. However, what we did find is that all of these beaches did have simple sun loungers for hire, and many of the beaches did have great restaurants still open there. With this one, we only went to the little kind of sandwich cafe, where you get a coffee or a panini. We didn't go to a formal sit-down restaurant on this beach. It did have one, and I would say the snack shop was maybe not our favorite, so I might recommend splurging on the sit-down restaurant. The next beach that I will recommend is called Ira Beach, and this is actually in Porto Rotondo. It would have taken us about 20 minutes to walk there from our apartment rental, or about 4 or 5 minutes in the car. So yeah, we definitely took the car there, and this was another sun loungers for hire situation, but they did have a public part of the beach as well. We really liked the sun loungers that were adjacent to the actual restaurant. It was very easy and simple to use the bathrooms, to go get a coffee, and this is a very lovely kind of crescent shaped beach that you can go enjoy long walks along. So really lovely aqua water, great beach and sand quality for swimming, and because there's no big waves, none of these beaches that I'm going to share with you had big waves. It is also very family friendly. So I would definitely recommend this one. We loved this beach so much that we went to it twice. So definitely a winner in our books. We also went and visited the Era Beach restaurant, and I started with a glass of rosé. My friend had this sea bass, which came in a steamed plastic bag. Never seen that before. She said it was excellent in terms of the taste and the flavor, but just very interesting in terms of the presentation. I had a chicken salad, which came with cheese and some sort of creamy dressing, tomatoes, some other fresh vegetables. This was just lovely. And then we finished with some fresh watermelon, which was perfect for a hot, sunny day. And I also had a very special coffee drink, which is called a shakerato. And this is basically where the bartender takes espresso and ice and shakes it up in a cocktail shaker. And this was so good. I had many of them on the trip. The next beach that I will recommend is called Spiaggia dei Sassi, and this is also in Porto Rotondo, but on the completely opposite side of Porto Rotondo. And this one is also about a 20-minute walk from our apartment rental, or about a 5-minute drive. As with Era Beach, there also was plenty of parking. If I would actually say more parking at this one. I did actually do the walk from our apartment rental because my friend wanted to go much earlier than I did in the morning. And it was definitely a journey with some hills, but it was nice to get some steps in en route to just sitting and reading my book at the beach. I would say with this one, I preferred Era Beach to this beach. This beach is a little more rustic and a little more pebbly and grainy in terms of the sand quality, but it also is on one of those beautiful kind of half crescent little bay type inlets. The water was really gorgeous here, although one of my friends did get stung by a jellyfish here, so I think that's something you always have to be aware of when you're going to a beach destination. This is also a sun lounger for hire type beach situation. We paid for the sun loungers, but there also was a public beach adjacent to it. They also had a really lovely restaurant at this beach. So Tartaghino, which has a restaurant in downtown Porto Rotondo, also has a beachside restaurant here, and they also run the cafe stand. So I did go there and stand there with my espresso, very Italian of me, I suppose, in the morning. And yes, now you can see here, this is the Tartaghino restaurant. It's basically just like, almost like a lovely kind of chic shack with white tablecloths and kind of very kind of gorgeous interior, but very kind of rustic, open air beachside style restaurant, but with a really fantastic menu. We had the octopus and potatoes, which also came with tomato. So we actually just got 2 starters. We weren't so hungry on this day, but this was perfectly cooked. And then we also had a caprese salad with the meal, which I also thoroughly enjoyed. And both were just prepared perfectly. The next beach that I'll recommend is heading north toward Porto Cervo, which is called Grande Pevero Beach. And this one, we did have to pay for parking. We didn't really have to pay for parking at any of the other beaches. I don't know if that's the same thing in the high season, but at least in our off-shoulder season situation. But they did have a card machine with the attendant at this beach, so that was great. And it is a little bit of a walk from the car to the beach, probably only about 5 minutes. So just keep that in mind if you're the type who likes to travel with a lot of things, or perhaps you have kids and as a result you have a lot of stuff. So we did make the walk to the beach, and we really loved this beach as well. This beach was actually probably on the larger side of the beaches that we went to, I guess hence that the parking was so far away and that there was a lot of parking. The water was that same gorgeous aqua color. You could see some of the really lovely boats in the background. But right now I'm sharing you a bit of a rocky area, and then you kind of continue down to the beach, and you can see here it's quite a long half crescent beach in the backdrop. So just like all the other beaches, this is also a sun lounger for hire situation. We did feel like these were a little bit more expensive than some of the other beaches that we went to, probably because of our proximity to Porto Cervo, which if you don't know about Porto Cervo, that's where all the billionaire yachts dock. So everything around that area is just by default more expensive. There was, of course, also a public beach component to this beach, so you could just bring your towel with you or your own beach chairs. Again, we really liked the sun lounger situation. I also really loved this beach for swimming. The sand was actually just really lovely consistency even under the water. So it just made for kind of a nice mix of like standing in the ocean to cool off as well as swimming a bit. And there was just a really great stretch for swimming. We also went to the restaurant that's on site. It's just the Grande Pavero beach bar. They do have, like many of the places, a casual kind of takeaway cafe and also a sit-down restaurant. We really loved doing the sit-down restaurants because it just broke up the day nicely. I had an ahi seared tuna with some roasted vegetables, and my friend that I was traveling with liked the sound of this so much, she also got it too. And the food here was just excellent quality. And it was nice for us to kind of take a break from laying on the beach with our books and have a chat. We also decided to splurge here because our lunch was a bit lighter and have some tiramisu for dessert. Then also some little spirits of, I think, grappa or something like that arrived complimentary on the house after. So we felt very wined and dined here and very appreciated. Next up is Spiaggia Capricoli. And this beach, we unfortunately didn't have the best luck weather-wise. It was sprinkling rain when we arrived, and I was traveling with someone who just loves the beach in any weather occasion, even the rain. So I was tempted just to say, well, why don't we go drive around and see a bit more of Costa Esmeralda, which is where this beach is. And my friend was like, no, let's wait it out. The weather will get better. And it did get better. So she definitely read the weather forecast right. This was also a sun lounger for hire situation. With where this beach is, there's actually a few very small beaches all in the same area, some of which are public beach, some of which have sun loungers for hire. Ours was split with half and half for both. And as you can see here, because we were staying at the beaches for an entire day with each beach visit, we decided to splurge on those sun loungers. And bonus, it did keep us a bit shielded from the rain, but yeah, you can see it just wasn't the most kind of sunny, gorgeous day that we were hoping for, but we really did love kind of the rocky, rustic nature of this beach. And the water, I do think, would have been a bit brighter of a blue had we gotten less stormy weather. But we did make the most of it, and when the rain did start coming down a bit harder, my friend was like, I'm gonna go for a swim, and I'm like, I'm gonna go to the beach club. They have this really lovely kind of posh, sceney beach club called Vesper Beach Club, and because there weren't many people at the beach, I had my pick of the tables and chairs. I got myself this mango tequila cocktail because I guess when life gives you rain at the beach, you turn to mango and tequila. And I had some kind of olives and some snacks with it, and I sat under the cover and just read my book and just had the most relaxing, lovely time there. So the last but certainly not beach to share with you is called Cala Sassari, and this is located on Golfo Aranci. This was also a very large beach, and they had an even bigger parking lot to match, so I imagine it's quite busy during the high season. We also did a sun lounger for hire situation here. We parked ourselves up next to a little cafe stand and had these really gorgeous thatched sun loungers with all kind of the white around, very chic. I really love this beach because it was fun to kind of walk the length of it when you just needed a little break from laying in the sun. I didn't love our position in the middle of the beach with the swimming because it got kind of very deep very quickly, and the rope off as a result was very close to where we were, so we couldn't really swim a very long length. And there also were these schools of fish in this beach that like kept trying to like give me little kisses on my leg, which I'm just not great. It just wigged me out of it, but don't let that dissuade you. My friend was in the beach for huge moments of the day. She really loved it. And there were 2 different really lovely restaurants on this beach, plus a few, like a smattering of those little cafe situations throughout. So there was a lot to offer if you're gonna be here for the day. And of course, there also is a public beach in addition to the sun loungers. For lunch, we decided to go to one of the restaurants, which is called Fino Beach Restaurant. And I thought this one was pretty good. It's on the far end of the beach from where we were staying. And My friend got this kind of strange looking seafood pasta. She said it tasted good, but I think from a presentation standpoint didn't look the best. But I decided to go with my classic. I had a chicken, bacon, Parmesan, and tomato salad. It was perfectly cooked, just felt really fresh and healthy. It was way more than I could eat. And then we tried to get a shakerato again, although mine melted very quickly, I think just given the heat on this day. But I really loved having these beverages when we were traveling on the beach. So with that said, that wraps up 6 amazing beaches in Northern Sardinia that you should check out on your holiday. I will have all of the places mentioned linked down below, including the apartment rental in Porto Rotondo that I recommended. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button. That really helps this channel. Have you been to incredible beaches in the Northern Sardinia area? Leave a comment down below. Help other travelers, because sharing is always caring here on this channel. And if you would like to join me on this wonderful YouTube journey, please hit that subscribe button. This will not be the last video I post from Sardinia. So make sure that you're subscribed to get all of my videos as they come out. It's completely free to do. You just see my videos when you pop back onto YouTube. So thanks again for tuning in, and I will see you soon.